Okay. Hey everyone, in RM371. We are here to do our presentation about leisure and well-being model.
My name is Ashlyn Braithwaite.
My name is Derek Halley.
And I'm Laura Simmerman.
Okay, for the creator and date, we have Cynthia Carruthers and Colleen Hood. They published the Leisure and Wellbeing Model in 2007, which is like decently recent. The foundation of this theory is based off of psychology, human development, resilience theory, and then the leisure behavior theory. The girl in the blue suit jacket is Cynthia, and the lady with the red hair is Colleen.
And here we have our conceptual foundations of the leisure and well-being model. For leisure experience, it's pleasant in expectation, experience, or recollection, just remembering things and being able to look back on that in time. And then we are intrinsically motivated, meaning we have a personal desire to do that thing, whether it's we have a desire to lose weight or to go on a run. It's something that we want personally. Optimal in nature, optional in nature, autonomous, and engaging. And then the well-being side of it is a state of successful, satisfying, and productive. So that's just saying that it's something fun that you enjoy. And it's also not just fun, but it's something that you can work towards. And it's like you're doing something at the same time. You're being productive. You're continuing in what you're doing.
All right. So with every topic, there's going to be unique attributes. And I actually really enjoy the attributes of the leisure and well-being model. The very first one is understanding and interpretation of one's full potential. I want you to know right now that your potential is so beyond what we actually think it is. And being able to understand this well-being model, we really get that better interpretation of just our potential. And it's something that we can truly achieve by doing all these great activities. Another one is positive emotion on a daily basis. That's a goal that each one of us, I'm pretty sure, want to get, is to be positive, especially on a daily basis when school weighs us down or we have other life crises that happen. By using this leisure and well-being model, we can have that positive emotion. And I think that's amazing. Another one is enhances a participant's resources. So as CHRS, Certified Therapeutic Rec Specialist, we are able to help our clients get the resources that they need. And resources are so extensive, it's just they don't know how to find it. And so as a CHRS, we have that ability to give it to them, and we can do the research, we can give them connections, give them everything that they need so that they can improve their well-being, improve their life so they can have great leisure. Everyone wants to have a great leisure. Another thing is to begin with the end in mind. So something that we can talk about with this is goals. If we have goals are setting something that we want to accomplish. And so that's kind of beginning with the end in mind. When we have these goals that are obtainable, that are smart, that are going something towards what we want, then we are beginning with the end in mind. Another thing is positive psychology. If we constantly tell ourselves to be happy that we can do this, that it's possible, then we are helping ourselves. Our well-being is being helped, and we find that our activities in leisure are so much more beneficial and meaningful, and it makes life great for us and our clients. The last one on here, it says it uses leisure experiences for well-being. All the different experiences that we have that are leisure-based and recreation-based, those things help us move forward. It gives us a better understanding of who we are, of what we can do for our client, and it really just helps our well-being. And these attributes are just a great thing. And there's so many more, not just these, but I encourage you to look up more on yourself and find something that applies to you.
Okay, as you can see, this beautiful flower, this is the Flourishing Through Leisure model. You can find part of this in our textbook in the Anderson and Hayne 2012. This is only part of it. It's a pretty big diagram, but we think the flower kind of represents the all-encompassing of the well-being. Well-being is a state of success, something that you feel satisfied from doing, and you feel productive, and there's an engagement throughout your life. That can also be like almost parallel with the flow theory that we've touched on a little bit in previous chapters. But I kind of wanted to talk about the different petals really quickly. We have the leisure and well-being. This is when we find enjoyment in leisure experiences and positivity that helps impact our lives. Psychological and emotional well-being, we feel happy and we perceive that we're happy, that we can have control of what's going on. Because sometimes when things happen and we don't feel like we have control, it feels like we're just going with the wind and we don't get to choose whether or not we're happy. But we do have that ability if we train ourselves to think positively about things. The social well-being, as you can see in the little petal, it says, I can relate well with others and belong to valued social groups. Everyone wants to feel a sense of belonging, in whether that be in a family or with friends and church, just as long as someone feels like they're being productive and that they're loved. Regarding spiritual well-being, it says in there, we live our life hopefully in harmony with the values and our beliefs. So if we stand for those things that we believe, then we'll have a sense of purpose almost as well, and that we can feel more in touch with our spirit. Physical well-being, yes, we can act in our daily virtues with no barriers. Sometimes there are impairments with a disability that we'll see with our clients, but we can help them get over that with adapting different sports or senses of leisure, as well as cognitive well-being. We can think and focus on a way to learn eagerly. This is what we're doing in college, kind of, where we're learning about new ways to help our clients, but we can also help them learn new ways of leisure or different hobbies or different skills, and kind of open up the doors, as Derek was saying, that we can open up those resources to help them explore a little bit more. And we put this person cheering on and being super happy to be flourishing through life.
Awesome. So some of the outcomes of the leisure and well-being model is that there's an acceptance of oneself. And this one is super important, because if as a person you don't accept yourself, it's really hard to find peace with others and to really go out there and make friends and have a desire to continue to grow and learn. This is something that when I worked at Anasazi, I found a lot of. We had to help the youth accept themselves for who they are and the weaknesses they had, and then help them overcome those weaknesses by working on strengths and overcoming, step at a time, little things that they could do. Another one is a better relationship with others. Again, that goes back to the acceptance of oneself, because as soon as we can fix that problem with ourselves and we can come to love ourselves, we will automatically begin to love other people. And then we have autonomy, which is the definition of it is the right or condition of self-government, especially in a particular sphere. You also have a freedom from external control or influence and independence. And then you have the self-determination. Again, this is just where you have that desire. It's intrinsic motivation. It's where you just want to go out and do it because it makes you feel better. You also have environmental mastery and competence, purpose in life. This one is very valuable because as soon as we help people who maybe have come to gain a disability over their period of life, it's helping them expand that and realize that there is something more that they can do. They don't have to just be a person in a wheelchair. They can go out and rock climb, for crying out loud, or do something else that's really amazing and totally crazy, but really awesome for them. And then again, there's personal growth.
Okay. So the population that leisure and the well-being model would be appropriate to use is everyone on this screen. It's for every single person. I want to point out real quick this picture on the left of the old couple. I just think that's adorable. Goals. I like it. Anyways, yeah, it is. It's for every single person, and it's a wonderful thing. Each one of us needs this.
There are so many strengths that we can pull out from the leisure well-being model, but we just named 4 of them. Learn to relish in leisure. We're able to find ourselves in our hobbies or our different skills that we find. Model can be used in any situation. So there's a variety of things we can do for this leisure well-being model. There's not really any limits to it. Built on evidence-based theories, which this class is all about, because we want to make sure that we are helping our clients based on what we've seen works and what can help a person individually or as groups. And it also focuses on the positive. This is kind of the strength-based approach when we're thinking of all the good things and those strengths, as Laura said, and when she worked at Anastasia, that they had to focus on their strengths and the positive things so that they can overcome those weaknesses that they had.
And we also have the weaknesses. There's a lot of different weaknesses, but here are some that just kind of stood out to us. One is that the policy and healthcare participants may want concrete results of a lasting value and may not recognize leisure as such. And this is one that we've come to learn in our major, in the classes we've taken, that this is actually a big deal because a lot of people just think that leisure is just for fun and it's not actually something purposeful and useful. So it's our job as CTRS to really show how important leisure is, and that's where coming down to the evidence-based practice will really come into play, is if we can really show the world where that is. But that's just a weakness. A lot of people just don't recognize it as something that can be useful. Another one is creating some resources may not be as possible in certain locations and in certain economic situations. And this is actually a really big deal in like second and third world countries, even in smaller communities where there may not be a sports team for the disabled, or there may not be resources for those who maybe don't have the money or just the time to put in that they need to be able to receive the help that is offered. This is a big deal because as CTRS, we can change that. We can bring to light those circumstances and those issues and really make a difference in the communities by just presenting that to those who are there, those in charge. And then we also have, if one focuses on the leisure and well-being model too much, other responsibilities such as family and work become secondary. This is actually a pretty big deal as well, because as people get more and more into like following adrenaline rushes and becoming adrenaline junkies, or just having fun too often, too much, that just gets in the way. There's the saying that says you have to work hard and play hard. And that's such a huge deal, because if we don't work hard and play hard, nothing will ever get done. We won't feel renewed. We won't be able to sharpen the saw. But if we don't work hard, there's no point in what we're doing at the moment. So those are just a few of the weaknesses that we have.
Thank you guys for being here with us during our presentation. We really hope that you learned something from the leisure and well-being model and that you actually apply it into your life and into your career. There's people out there that need you and that need your help and your experience. So here's the sources if you want to learn more and figure out what else you can do to help one's well-being and leisure. Thank you very much.